Okay, so I thought I'd do something a little different today. I'm going to show you how I have been trying to learn new tunes, new tracks, and so normally I do this on my phone, but I went ahead and downloaded it to my a little tablet that I have. So I have an Android tablet. I think it's an Amazon Fire tablet that I hacked to make to make it do Google the Play Store. And it works just fine. But it's called the Music Speed Changer app, and if you can get a hold of the MP3s of a tune that you want to learn, you can adjust the tempo, and if you need to, you can even adjust the pitch. So if there's something that's being played in B flat, you can raise it to be played in D. So I don't need to mess with this. I have a session album that has a bunch of session tracks on it, and I don't enjoy it as much for just listening to, but it's really good as a library of tunes. So a lot of common tunes are on here. So right now I have one pulled up. I just picked one that I've heard of before, but I've never learned it. So I've probably have a little bit of familiarity with it, just having been around Irish music stuff for however many years it's been, 15 years. But I'll play this is how the track sounds. So that gives you an idea. It's kind of like if you had like a good session going. There's accordions, which accordions drown everything out, and probably fiddles and stuff. And you can hear someone maybe has a harp in the background, but it's just kind of a fun session vibe. So what I'm gonna do is drop the tempo. There's also a looping function. I don't know if you can see these little A and B parts. So I can actually set a specific part to loop by tapping A and then tapping B, and I can loop the end. But the first thing I'm going to do is slow the tempo way down. So I might try to put it, and you can do this. You can actually do 50% down to 25% on YouTube. So if you can find it on YouTube, you can do a similar thing. But so now I've got. So there we go. Da da da. So that's the first. Let me see if I can find it on. Got a carbony low D. I think that's. Oops. What does that sound? Oh, my son is calling me. All right, so interruption from my son, which is part of rehearsal. Oops. Okay. Da 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 da. Keeps going. Let me go ahead and set up the A and B part. So there's A. So once I am doing something. Go work on your ST math. You are supposed to work on your ST math. You're coming down here to make a bunch of noise. Okay, so I kind of have the first phrase down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear the A and B part, and I'm just gonna extend it. So and I'm gonna put the B part there, and then I'm gonna back it up, and I'll try to play it through. So. I'm having trouble with it. So when I have trouble with specific phrases, sometimes I'll just stop and I'll go over that phrase over and over and over again to kind of build in the muscle memory for just that small spot. And then once I get it working, then I can add the context around it. So I'm gonna go back, and I know all this is very repetitive, so. so I feel like I'm getting that section fairly comfortable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear my A and B tabs, and then I'm going to go to the B part. Oh, I missed it. Yeah. And I'm gonna, just so I can listen to it a few times, I'm gonna speed it back up to 100%. Oh, I messed up my B part. See if I can. There's a way to edit these. I tend to mess it up though. Edit that one more time. Let's go back. Try that. Okay, so now I'm getting that. I'll slow it down a little bit more. I'm trying to get to the point where I can hum it. Slow it down to 50%. And this isn't always my my process. But it's close though. So I use a lot of time slowing down the tunes and repeating parts over and over and over again until I get it. And I've had some tunes take me like a week of just playing. I'll take them and plug my phone into my car and play the tune slowly. I'll try to get it, just trying to get them into my head. And then something that I like to do after I've kind of gotten the tune sort of set is I like to go and find other versions. So a lot of times I'll do an Amazon Music search or go on YouTube and I'll search that. And one thing that does is it can help me find other sets that can go with. One of the things I like about this particular CD set is that it it groups tunes by the common, like Silver Spear and Father Kelly's and Miss Monahan's, puts all three of those together. So it kind of gives you like, if you went to a session, these would be kind of the standard sets of tunes that you would do, or that you might expect to run across. So, but when I go online, sometimes you can find what other people pair them with. You can hear variations. You can hear different versions, and see how different artists interpret them. And so it's, rather than just learning one specific way to do the tune, you can start to see how the melodic variation that gets incorporated, and try to switch it up. Which I'm not very good at melodic variation. If you want to see someone who is good, Shannon Heaton does a really good job of making the tunes interesting and really changing things up. But I don't have that skill. I pretty much get like one or two ways to play a tune, and I play them the same way each time, which can be good for some things, but not as good for others. So, so here's the. Okay, so there's definitely a few trouble spots that I'm having in there. So I don't know if I can. Let me see if I can clear this. Right there. keep missing those transition points. See, I wanna go into the next phrase. Okay, so I feel like that's kind of an okay practice session for this time, and I would keep going, but I've got to help my son with ST math, which is one of the reasons I don't do this a lot. I don't learn a lot of songs because as soon as I sit down to do something, then I have other things that I have to do. So it's kind of hard to sit down and just learn a whole tune. But I'll come back to this one, and then just slowly, once I get to the point where I can learn it, play it, and I have to think less about it, I get the muscle memory in. Then I'll add the other one. So the last ones that I was learning was it was that sleeve rustle. And then there was another one that was it was one that I was learning from Shannon Heaton's Tune of the Month series, but is the and I'm messing that one up. So you can hear I'm still only like 80% on that previous set, but it's sleeve rustle, and then I can't remember what the other one was that goes with it, but I learn tunes at a very 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 slow rate, and I haven't added many to my repertoire in quite some time. I tend to play the same tunes over and over again, and for reviews sometimes I do that on purpose, so that you can kind of compare and contrast different reviews that I've done. But for just general playing, it kind of gets old. So I don't know if that's helpful, if any people have stuck with me for this whole thing, but that's kind of my process as of right now. It's just like listen a lot. Sometimes it helps if you can get the tune set in your mind, and then you can start to figure out kind of where does it start. What are the first few notes of the phrase? So like sleeve rustle is the. And so I think, what is the tune I was just learning? If I can remember, it starts. Okay. So there you go. And I'm trying to learn more tunes so that I can maybe come St. Patrick's Day I might have like a full set of I would love to be able to just sit down and play like 20 minutes to an hour's worth of tunes without messing up. And I have not gotten to that point yet. But like every year around St. Patrick's Day, I'm like, oh, I wish like maybe next year I can go. I'd like to be able to just go sit out on a street corner, and play, and have people throw like dollars at me instead of rocks. So, not that anyone's thrown rocks at me, but I would like to have some more confidence in being able to play without messing up. So that's what I'm working on right now. So hope that's interesting for anyone who stuck around.